Dutch, Dutch, riding up Dutch.
Good morning, iPhone. Welcome to today's video. We are doing a Q&A today. It's very chill and quiet in our household today, isn't it?
Now
the little three are playing upstairs.
Well, behind the camera's a tornado of like devastation that needs to be addressed after the filming of this video.
It's not. The garden's bad.
Pretty much.
I've been in the garden.
Yeah, the garden's what I mean.
Right, so I asked on...
Should we just address the fact that I've got water on my top? Rory just did that to me, literally just 2 minutes ago.
Because like, do I need to go and change? I'm like, no. Who cares? It's a bit of water. Right, I did a question box on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram...
I think you're totally out of focus and I'm in focus because you're sat back and I'm sat forward.
If you're not following us on Instagram... Sarah Ingham Official, and also make sure you're following our family Facebook page because we have been trying to be more active on there. Okay, so I've done a load of screenshots and I'm just going to fire away some questions. There's some quite good ones on here. Right, do you guys have any road trips planned for the summer? It says I love your guys videos. They are so inspiring.
Thank you very much. Yes, we do. We've actually got 2 road trips planned for this summer, this year. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we do.
We're talking about, do we?
Yeah, we do. It's because
I've just been watching YouTube for the last hour, like researching one of them that we're doing.
Yeah, because one of them that we're doing, I am actually really excited. I don't want to give too much away, but I am really excited for this year's road trip. You guys know that we love to spend our summer travelling around. And then last year, I feel like last year was the year of Italy. I feel like we did a lot of Italy last year.
Yeah.
It wasn't the only place we went, but I feel like we did do quite a lot of Italy. And we're not doing that this year. We're taking a completely different route. And we've got hotels that we've already booked. Because usually when we leave for these trips, we're always like, we're going to make it different. We're going to do a couple of hotels along the way. And then we never end up doing it because we get in the van. And genuinely, I know some people find this really hard to believe because we're such a big family in such a small space. But we genuinely love being in the van.
Yeah, true.
And so even though we have these intentions to book hotels along the way or Airbnbs, we never end up doing it because I'm like, yeah, but I can't really... I don't even want to justify the cost because I just love being in the van.
Yeah, exactly.
So... we've booked the hotels already, so we're doing
like a mix. We're doing like a mix of like your all-inclusive holiday type thing.
Yeah.
With a bit of van life twist.
With another hotel that's like not all-inclusive, but like adventure-y.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I say this every time, but this is gonna be the best road trip we've done. Definitely. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be cool. Because for summer road trips, not obviously winter. You can't compare summer and winter road trips. But for a summer road trip, this is going to be a boss.
Yeah. Right, question number 2. This is a boring one for you, but I get this quite often. Potty training tips. 3-year-old not showing interest and struggling. Also, you're a great family. Thank you so much. So, honestly, I didn't read that you had a 3-year-old because I was about to start this with, don't try and potty train your child until your child is ready. Because, honestly, it's pointless. Your child has to be ready. And I see so many parents bashing other parents online because their child's 2.5 and not potty trained, or 3 years old and not potty trained. Every child is different, and 99.9% of your children will go to school potty trained, using toilets. And everyone always worries as soon as their child becomes a toddler, like, oh no. But every child gets there in the end, or most children get there in the end if there's no underlying conditions. So things that I've done, I genuinely feel like I've been quite lucky with potty training my children. They've all been potty trained at the age of 2 or just before. Isla was our earliest potty trained baby. She was 20 months. So it was the Christmas. She was 1. She was a year old at the Christmas, and she didn't turn 2 until the 9th of April. So she was 20 months old, but you don't remember that, do you?
Yeah, of course.
Let you off. And I remember it because my friend had a little girl who turned 2 in December, and we potty trained at the same time, and all of my children took to it so easily, like no problems. And we often get questions asking like, how do you do nighttime? Our children naturally just stopped going to the toilet on a nighttime when we potty trained. We didn't do anything. We put them in a pull-up for a couple of weeks, and they were dry, and then we just stopped.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but one thing the only tip that I can say, because I'm not an expert in this, because like I say, my children have been easy, is, and some people will find this a bit weird and a bit OTT, so apologies to you people that do, but I've never been shy about showing my children me going to the toilet. my children now, like we might as well not even have doors in our toilets, in all honesty, because I swear I don't think I've been to the toilet alone since I had Isabel. Like, yeah. My children always seem to go to the toilet. Aurora's started to, and usually they're not bothered, like they don't do anything, they don't, you know, it's just like I'm sat on the sofa. But when they get to about 18 months old, or just a bit earlier, they start to say, wee wee. Or because whenever I sit down the toilet, I always say like, I'm going for a wee wee, Mama's doing a wee wee. This is really gross, but you know, they'll be interested what's going on down there in the toilet. And you know, I've never been shy about showing my children that. And I genuinely feel like, though, that's what helps them go to the toilet. They know what I'm sitting down on the toilet doing. They know what wee-wee is. And it's hard to say that with them when they've got nappy on. You don't know when they're weeing, so it's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Why don't you live in Dubai permanently? I'm going to mix that, because there's quite a few questions regarding Dubai. So I'm going to mix this one into one. The first part is, why don't you live in Dubai permanently? And then the second part is, if you had to choose Dubai full-time or England full-time, which would you choose?
Ooh.
So we don't live in Dubai permanently, simply because we've got family and Prinny and a home in the UK still. So we...
And I don't think, as well as add to that, I don't think we're meant to be home birds in one place.
Yeah, I don't think we are
because
either.
We get itchy feet.
Yeah, we do. I said this to you the other day, didn't I?
And we want to go, like, we don't have access to Europe from here, right? So, and we want to physically go back to Europe to get our vans to go for a road trip.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready for that now.
I said the other, because Esmé was saying, I don't want to go, I don't want to leave Dubai, and Isabel was saying, like, I feel like we've all settled into life here, I don't want to get up and go, I'm not ready. Because we were saying, like, we've only got like a month left here. And they were all saying, oh, I just wish we didn't have to go, I just don't want to. And I was saying, that's so weird you're all saying that, because I thought that would be me, but I'm the opposite. Like, I'm ready. I'm not ready to leave Dubai, but I'm ready to do a trip. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm ready to, I'm not even craving home this time, which is so weird.
No, this feels much more like home.
This feels really home to me. Yeah, it does.
And with our routines and stuff we've got now, like Isla in class, the where we go shopping, nighttime routines, going to the gym, like you name it, we've kind of, this has turned into like proper home. And it's not that we don't want to be here full time. It's just that we love traveling, so we're not meant to be home birds in one place at the minute.
Yeah.
So that's why, basically.
That also leads me on to some people saying that we have a timeshare on this house. I know that wasn't a question on today's video, but I have seen comments about that. We don't have a timeshare on this house in Dubai. Wow. We don't. People say things like, "Oh, you're not there because you're not allowed to be there longer." We've got residence visas, so we can be in Dubai 12 months of the year, and we solely pay for this house. Do we pay?
Is there even such thing as timeshare anymore?
I don't know. Probably. Well, people say it.
Well, then in Dubai, you have to have a thing called an ijari, which is basically a tenancy agreement, and they ain't shareable. And you can't sublet your house on an ijari. No. So obviously we have an ijari on this house, which means a contract to pay for this house for a full year until it renews. And also you have to pay a DUA. So DUA stands for Dubai Electric and Water
Authority. And you don't. It's not like in the UK where you get to pay that, like, you know, a bit each month. Bills here in Dubai are paid like upfront for the year, pretty much everything. Your health insurance, like your electric and your things, like they're all paid like either quarterly or halfly or upfront for the year. So
like recently our health insurance renewed, and it was a lot of thousands to renew because it's an upfront cost for the full year.
But that's for the full year. So once you've paid it, then it's paid. So it's kind of good, but kind of a lot upfront, especially when like you're doing your rent and everything like that. And
your rent's paid like in...
Do we do quarterly or?
We do quarterly. So your rent's paid in either 1, 4 or 6 checks. So you basically at the start of the year, when our tenancy renews, we are actually currently looking at houses. So we may move from here. We're not 100% sure whether we're going to sign another lease for this house or whether we're going to move to a bigger house.
Yeah.
We're looking, so we'll see about that one. But when you sign a new tenancy agreement, we'll give the landlord or the management company like 4 checks, and each check is written out for a quarter of what the yearly rent is.
Yeah.
And then every quarter, the landlord will cash one of the checks in.
He just sends us a quick message, doesn't he? Like a few days before, like, hey guys, just a reminder that I'll be cashing in your check in X amount of days.
Yeah, just like remind you to put the money in the account or whatever.
The money's there, so it doesn't bounce or anything, I guess.
Yeah, so it's cool. So basically, everything in Dubai is paid up front. So timeshares That's not a thing, because like with you between your electricity account that you pay for, you do pay your electricity bills up front every month, but you have a deposit down of 4,000 dirham.
I thought we paid our electricity bill.
No, you have to pay that monthly. That's paid monthly, but you put a deposit down at the start of so you take out a year's contract with Dua on the property you're in, and you pay up 4,000 as like a deposit for if you just leave the country and don't pay your electricity bills.
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, that was it.
But you pay your electricity monthly. But you haven't anyway. Basically, your contract of tenancy isn't called an ajari, and you can't sublet your house.
No.
And there's no such thing as timeshares with an ajari. You're either a resident, and you get an ajari because you're a resident, and you're allowed to take out a tenancy agreement if you're a resident of the UAE.
Yeah.
If you're not a resident of the UAE, you can't get an ajari. You can't rent a house, and you can't be here long term.
Yeah.
So
UK full time or Dubai full time?
Well, we've got Dubai full time.
Yeah, I think I would probably do Dubai full time, but yeah. I do love my home in the UK, so I find that really difficult. And obviously, I do miss family. We've got Prinny, but if we were to move here full time, then obviously things would change, and we'd look into different things.
I think that basically, what I'll just to answer this properly is that. Even we have a plan for here.
It's really hard to do honest Q&As. I feel like
no, it's not.
Because I feel like sometimes like when we're doing Q&As, I don't like even when we're just talking just then about the road trip, for example.
You can't say too much.
You can't say too much because there's so many nasty people that like try and ruin things, and so I find doing Q&As really difficult because pretty much every single question we get, I can't give a full round answer. Do you know what I mean? I want to give you a full round. I want to tell you all of our plans for summer. I want to tell you the hotels we're staying at. I want to tell you our plans for Dubai and the UK. I want to tell you all of our plans, but I just don't feel like we can. So I feel like I'm always skirting around.
We can say this. We do have a plan for Dubai long term, and we have a plan for the UK long term. We are not going to be choosing either Dubai or the UK. We have a plan long term for Dubai, where we want to put down a route here. We have a place where we want to be living. That we want to action in the next year, and we're also not going to be selling the brick house in the UK because we love being in the UK too. So we're still going to be splitting our time between the UK and Dubai, but Dubai is definitely long term for us now, and we absolutely love it here. If we had to choose, though, bottom line, if we had to choose one way or the other, then for me now, I would say Dubai, and I'd get all my family out here to live with us out here. I'll live near us out here, basically. I would say Dubai, definitely. I think Sarah's the same as well.
Yeah. Okay, we've got one question regarding Isla's ballet, and that is ex-dance teacher here, ex-dance kid here. Love seeing Isla's love for ballet. When you travel, how will she keep it going? I have seen a couple of questions about this actually. So Isla's ballet school, and in fact all of the ballet schools, actually I don't know if all of them because I've not researched all of them, but a lot of the ballet schools here actually close for summer, and Isla's does. So hers wouldn't start open until autumn time anyway, of which time we'll be back. So Isla's not actually going to miss out on that time then. Obviously, if we're not in Dubai long term, like for example, we won't be here over Christmas, Isla understands that that's just the way that our family is. That's just the way that we are. Right now, yes. Somebody else commented saying something like, if Isla wanted to stay full time so that she could do ballet, would she be allowed to? So it sounds really blunt, but no, because somebody else commented something like this the other day on one of my Facebook posts, saying, I don't know how you can say in Dubai it's clear that Jace misses the UK.
Alright, well, who's seeing that and where? Because we don't see that in real life.
No, I think it was from the Q&A. He answered like he loves both or so. I don't know. It's irrelevant anyway. That Jace misses this. Clear that Jace misses the UK and his family and things in the UK, and that's true. Jace misses his bike in the UK.
His chopper bike.
His chopper bike. He misses it. He talks about it often. I love my chopper bike. When we go home, can I play my chopper bike? As soon as we get in the house, we get my chopper bike. He speaks about it. But we're not going to fly the whole family of 8 home because a 6-year-old misses his chopper bike. You know? So, people sometimes take one child's interests like to the extreme, like the whole family needs to stay in Dubai now so that Isla can continue her ballet class, or the whole family needs to fly back to the UK so that Jace can play on his chopper bike. Like, the children know and they have a choice. Like, we can set down roots somewhere and never ever travel again and get you all into extracurricular classes if that's what you want to do, but they don't want to do that. Isla loves to do ballet, but she also loves to travel. Esmé wants to start ice skating lessons, but she knows that she'll miss some if we travel. Like, it's not a deal breaker on them starting classes like that as to whether we'd be able to do it full time forever, 365 days a year.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, Isla's class and ballet classes do close for summer, so it actually works out really well because her show, which she's got coming up, see everything I say I'm having to like be careful what I'm saying. Her show, her ballet show that she's got coming up, is like just before we leave back to go home, and obviously that's the end of the season, not season, semester, term. Yeah, that's the end of her term. So it actually worked out so well. When we got here in Dubai in March was it? Got here at the end of March.
Yeah.
Her class started like 2 weeks after, the term started like 2 weeks after we got here. So it just worked out perfectly this time. And I'm sure it will next time. And I'm sure there'll be terms where she misses a couple of lessons. But that's just life. That's just the way it goes. Okay, this is a lot. In fact, my question boxes this time were pretty much 2 questions. Like hundreds of the same 2 questions. And one of those was, is Esmé doing her GCSEs this year? Is Esmé taking exams? So the answer to that is we don't know. Esmé, we've always been very open on our channel.
I think they mean this year is in this June, which is the year she should, if she was in school, be doing them.
Yeah, but
she's not.
Yeah, but Esmé might decide. Well, I know at the minute she's saying she wants to, but you know, who knows when she's going to decide she's ready. So who knows, like, when she's going to take them. Okay. I'm just giving a straight answer. Like, if I say, yeah, she's doing them next year, as soon as next year comes around, you said, I'm not tripping myself up. You know what I mean? We don't know. And quite a few questions saying, how does it work?
Is Isabel doing laundry on her back?
I was just about to say, what's Isabel doing?
Well, she actually isn't doing laundry on her back.
Hanging her bedding out. She must have washed her bedding.
She's putting her bedding on the dusty barbecue.
Wow. So basically people have asked as well.
Because she'll be so annoyed when she takes it off later and it's covered in dust.
Basically, a few people have asked about homeschooling GCSEs and how it works. So many of you guys don't know that GCSEs can be taken at any time in your life. So when Isabel took her GCSEs, she was in like a private place with people in their 20s, with people that looked way younger than her, with people in their 30s. You know, you can technically take GCSEs at any time in your life.
That's the beauty of homeschool as well.
And that is the beauty of homeschooling. If you don't feel ready by June, May, you turn 16, that's fine. Take them at another time. Esmé doesn't feel ready to take it. I think she'd be okay, especially with maths. She's really good at maths.
Also, these are not GCSEs that you take when you're homeschooling. It's called IG, International GCSEs, and it's slightly different. It's the same qualification. It's ish the same curriculum, but it is different in the way it's structured, in the way the exams are structured, in the way they're marked.
Yeah. And you obviously have to pay for them.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere between like £200 to £400 English pounds per exam. And
you can do them anytime you want here in Dubai, basically.
So if Esmé feels ready to take one of her exams next week, and she'll come to us and say, look, I'm ready, I feel ready, we'll book it. If she doesn't come to us for another 6 months and say, I just don't feel ready to, we don't put that pressure on our children in the way that schools do. And I know some people agree with that and some people don't. If you're going to comment and debate about it in the comments, keep it respectful. We don't push our children. They learn at their own pace. They're not a class of 30 that all have to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. They're learning at their own pace, and that is A-okay with me. As long as they're doing something, then we're okay with that.
I think that this is a really controversial topic for so many people. And the reason why is because ever since the dawn of time, we've all, from birth, been brainwashed to believe that the only route to success is school, college, university, job, retire, have some freedom, you die.
Can we not be too open?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. Everybody always knows that I'm way pro this because I've talked about it for a couple of years now.
Times have changed though since.
Times have changed severely, and these days,
just be careful.
I'm being careful, right? So these days, I never mean to offend anybody by saying this, by the way, but everyone takes this in the wrong way most of the times when I say this. The routes to success that used to be the routes to success 10 years ago, or even when I was doing A-levels and stuff like that, because I have all my A-levels and I was fully ready to go be a doctor, and that route no longer.
No, it's not the only.
That route no longer is the route to massive financial success.
Oh, I hate this conversation.
I know you do, but it's tough. This is the truth about the world, right?
It's not the only way.
It's not the only way. It's not the only way.
Because you can still. It's
you
not
can.
The only way.
You can. It's not the only way. Those traditional routes are not the only way to financial success. Yes, we need doctors. If we don't have doctors, we'd be in very big trouble. So it is extremely important that people are doctors.
Yes, we need all workers.
We need every single worker. People who want to go into careers at McDonald's, we need people that do that, because otherwise who's going to serve us at McDonald's, etc., etc. Every single job needs somebody that is happy to do it to make the world turn.
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong with any of those jobs.
No.
Loads of people have pulled me up about this by me saying stuff online about traditional matrix
isn't the
jobs.
Only way to go.
Right? It's not the only way to
go.
That's
use that word.
It's the truth. I'm just saying.
It's no wonder people pull you up on it. You sound so blunt sometimes.
But it's why do I beat about the bush though?
Oh, I don't know.
The school system. This is the truth. The school system and the job system is designed to put you through school and turn people into workers, because workers keep the world going round. If we didn't have workers, the world would stop. We need workers. But there are other ways now to become financially successful, because obviously I want my children to be financially successful so they don't have to worry and struggle like we were.
No, it's not only exploiting your kids online.
No, it's not. It's nothing to do with that. Esmé and Isabel have their own businesses in their own right, and they are doing very well for themselves. And that is nothing to do. That is all actually very little to do with social media, and very little to do with anything they've learnt in school.
Somebody
or
asked
anything else.
if we can share Isabel's other business and ours, and we can, and we would love to, because it's something we are so proud of, but it would be tarnished and ruined, and we were not willing to risk that.
It's nothing to do with anybody else but Isabel. But basically, they're doing great, and they're setting themselves up for life. And these days in 2025, school, I'm not saying don't go to school, I'm not saying don't do uni, I'm not saying don't do all the traditional careers, because they're all important to be done. People need to do them to keep the world moving around. But if you're striving for something more,
that's okay too.
Then that's okay too.
Okay too.
Yeah, and truthfully, the only way to make massive amounts of money, which
can't we just end it there?
But no, this is fine to say. It's not, making money is not everybody's cup of tea, right? Being massively financially free is not everyone's cup of tea. People don't care about money. There's lots of people that don't care, and that's totally fine, right? I never ever look down. Everyone says I look down on people who don't want to earn loads of money. I don't care if I meet a person whether they want to make money or not.
Our families.
No.
They're not. You know, my sister, she's not got 2 pennies to rub against her name, and she's not ashamed of that, and I'm not ashamed of her for that either.
No. And I never would be. Like, I am the most grounded, down-to-earth person you could ever meet, and when I meet anybody, the last thing I'm thinking is, oh, what do you earn? I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care about that at all. I just know where I've come from, where me and Sarah have been at, and where I never want to go back to again. I never want to go back to struggling again. I never want my children to have to worry like we've worried. Yeah. And that is the only reason that I push them into things that I know will make them financially successful, and why I pursue everything that I do pursue to keep us in the world we want to be in, basically. And there's nothing wrong with any single route, but GCSEs, you have to know this, GCSEs for everyone, because there's so many kids out there that literally devalue themselves as people because they've failed the GCSEs, or devalue themselves as people because they don't want to take the GCSEs, or whatever it might be, right?
Or they can't.
Yeah, or they can't take them. GCSEs do not determine the person that you are. They don't determine the life you're going to have. You don't need qualifications from school at GCSE level, A level, university level to be the most financially successful person in the entire world. In fact, most financially successful people in the entire world do not come from school. They come from other ways. They do not come from school. The majority of school routes will not put you into massive financial success. And that's the truth in 2025. And that's all I'm going to say. It's the truth. It's the truth. So don't anybody come at Esmé about IGCSEs or anything else, because she will be massively successful in the world, and she will not get there because she had GCSEs.
But the only reason.
Yeah, the only reason, yeah. And if there's anybody else that's out there that can't take their GCSE exams, or doesn't want to, or has failed their exams and can't face retaking them, or just whatever it might be, you are not a failure in any way, shape or form.
No.
And trust me when I say the most successful people on this planet did not come from GCSEs, and that's all.
And also, can I just very quickly to add, you don't need, you know, like when you go to school and everyone's like, oh, you have to get your 5 A's or you're not getting into this and you can't do that. So, well, Isabel didn't get 5 A to C's and she was still able to do college. And I mean, I know it's different because hers is a home learning one, home educating one. So
it's still the same
private,
qualification
so
at
you
the
don't
end.
have to pay. But it's still, she's still at A-level, still an A-level, which she could then go on to other university if she wanted to. She's still able to get those A-levels without that original 5 GCSEs.
Yeah, so basically, for anybody that is stuck and lost in the world about stuff like that, it's not the end of the world.
We answer questions way too long.
Yeah, and there's if anyone comes for Esmés, you're just doing it through your own lack of education in this particular subject. That's it.
Okay, also trying to lose weight, any tips? Just workout at home is not really working. I've got the worst pins and needles in my legs ever.
We had to move positions.
Oh my gosh, my leg went purple. So basically, I wanted to answer this one because there was a lot regarding like weight loss, keeping motivated, because someone's also coming saying I'm a big foodie, like I'm really struggling.
Oh, trust me, I struggle so bad daily.
The biggest foodies you could imagine.
And we're living in the worst place possible ever to try and restrict your eating because it's so easy to get such good food in Dubai.
I just feel like at the minute, in my own head, I'm in a really good place to focus on being healthier.
It's easy to put our stuff outside to dry when the sun's just gone down.
I know. On being healthier and trying to make better choices and try and shift this extra 3 stone that I've got to lose. But I have felt like I've wanted to lose that 3 stone for years. Probably since like Gcse, so like 6 years. But I've never been in the right place to do it. Obviously I've had 2 other pregnancies in between there and I've breastfed for 12 to 18 months per time. So I don't know, I feel like now was just the right time for me to lose weight, and so I was in a good place mentally to be able to do it. And I have to be honest, I don't struggle daily like I thought I would. But I do eat what I want.
Yes, hi babes.
Well, while I was sleeping in Jason's bed.
Oh, she got to sleep.
Let me go start out.
Okay. I'm just going to keep answering this question. But yeah, I don't struggle like I thought I would fasting. Even though I'm a big foodie, but I do eat whatever I want to eat for my main meal a day. And I have done a big chat on Gcse regarding what I'm doing. But I wanted to ask this one because somebody said my workout at home isn't working. I was telling the girls, and I'm telling Chris this all the time, it doesn't matter if you're working out 7 days a week if you're not eating the right things. And I feel like a bit of a hypocrite saying this because I don't have a very, very healthy lifestyle diet. Like, I'm losing weight at the minute, but that's not because all I'm eating is lettuce. Like, I still enjoy food. I'm a big foodie, guys. I can't not enjoy food. My opinion is, yeah, I do want to lose weight. Yeah, I do want to be healthier, but I still want to live. I don't want to feel like my whole life's restricted. But especially the girls didn't realise how little, and I loved this the other day when we went to the gym with Esmé, how little calories you burn when you do workouts or when you go to the gym. Because I swear my children think, and I've often thought this when I was younger, that I can eat like, I don't know, a massive cheeseburger that's like 600 calories. It's all right, I'll just go to the gym. And you can do like an hour walking on a treadmill and you're not gonna burn half that amount of calories. And I showed Esmé the other day, we were on the rowing boats and we were rowing for about 5 minutes and I think we'd burnt like 47 calories or something. And Esmé went, that's not even a sip of coffee, my iced coffee. So yes, working out is not all about just losing calories. It's more beneficial than that.
She's asleep in
but
bed now.
Have you moved her to a bed?
Yeah. Bless her.
But it's really important that you do change your diet as well. It's not all just about working out and going to the gym and getting your 10k steps in. Of course, all those things help, but you also have to be eating a good diet.
And trust.
Which
It's
I'm
difficult.
a hypocrite saying because
It's so difficult. And it's not that. We're like, yeah, I have massive hunger noise.
Chris has only
Every
just
single day.
started doing this, haven't you?
Food noise, sorry.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah.
So when I don't eat, I only eat for like an hour window when I have dinner. And then outside of that, I'm just drinking water.
Oh yeah, because somebody else said I'm wanting to do, I saw this comment as well, I'm wanting to do 16-8. So look up fasting. There's so many different fasting routines. And 16-8 is basically where you fast for 16 hours and you eat during an 8-hour window. Now, a big mistake that some people make when they do this is they eat in that 8-hour window, but they trough they properly trough in that 8 hours, and then they're like, oh, fasting's not working for me. Well, it's not going to work if you're not in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter what hour windows you're eating. If you're consuming more and you're not in a calorie deficit, you're still going to gain weight, or you're not going to lose weight. So it's really important to work out your calorie intake. Really easy. There's so many calculators online. I think it just goes on your weight, your age, whether you're male or female, and it will tell you what calories you need to be eating per day to lose a pound a week or 2 pounds a week.
That lamp on me anyway, Bushy.
And you have to stick to that.
Yes,
in your calorie window. So whether your eating window is 8 hours, or whether it's like what we're doing, it's like 1 or 2 hours a day, because we fast pretty much 24 hours a day. Pretty much like 20 to 22 hours a day. I'd say 20 to 22 hours a day.
And then we have just a normal dinner.
And then we'll have like
we're eating is what we're eating.
So some days that might be like a bowl, a salad bowl. We had like massive big salad bowls a couple of times.
And then like tonight, it's like we're having a pasta dish tonight.
Yeah, pasta dish. We'll still have the cheese on the pasta. Some nights it might be a jacket potato beans. Some nights it might be a big takeaway. Some nights it might be a buffet where we consume loads. Another tip that I read online, just very quickly, because we're going to move on to the next question, but don't always calculate your calories per day, do it per week. Because sometimes if you do it per day, it's really easy to go over your calories and then feel like, oh man, I've messed up now, my whole week's ruined. That's not the case, do it weekly. So work out what you should be having per day, and then times that over 7, and then you've got that many calories for the week. So that if one day you eat like 400 calories over, doesn't matter, just eat less the next day, and I find that really helps.
Also, I've totally cut out sugar, like totally cut sugar out. So I'd have sugar in my coffee. I don't have any sugar in my coffee, which is very difficult, but I've been doing that for over a week now. And
Cokes, you've just
I
started
don't drink Coke.
Zero.
I only will drink Coke Zero. In fact, this is the first Coke Zero I've had in days. I just needed something in my mouth other than water today.
Last night.
Yeah, but that was not Coke Zero, was it?
I thought you were saying you hadn't had a Coke Zero in ages.
Apart from last night. I just needed something in my mouth to do other than water.
I should have just said are you still breastfeeding Aurora? No, I'm not. I stopped breastfeeding Aurora when she was about 14 months old or something, was she? And Aurora's about 19 months. How come Chris doesn't appear in vlogs much in Dubai? Is it the heat? No. It leaves me to do it all, that's fine.
No, it's not to do with that. It's literally nothing to do with that. We are basically super busy through the daytime with other business needs on top of YouTube, which I take care of. And also just the fact that Sarah's just a better natural born vlogger.
Chatter.
She's just better at it. When we're at home and there's nothing going on, Sarah's just a boss at
just going to be real.
Talking rubbish.
We're just going to be open and real, right? Chris is true. Everything Chris has just said is true. We do have other things going on behind the scenes that are not vlogged, and Chris does take the lead on most of those things, right? And it's also true that I'm a better vlogger. I'm not blowing my own horn, but I find it natural and easy to pick up a camera and chat. Whereas when you see Chris coming on camera and chatting, what you haven't seen is the hour before that where he's picked it up and started and put it down again and picked it up and said, no, I hate that.
It's not just that.
It's picked it up. No, it is.
It's not that. Some days it comes natural. Some days I just can't.
Yeah.
I just cannot do it.
He just doesn't find it easy to do.
I'm like, some days it's natural, as in like, if I feel good about myself, like today I don't feel bad about myself, so it's easy to film. I can pick up a camera and go and talk to you about the grass, whatever you want to talk about. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, but you do.
But some days I get up and I put the camera on my face and I don't. It's definitely like a self-confidence issue. But I'll turn the camera and look at myself and I'm like, nope, can't do it today.
Well, I'm just going to say, right, because this is where we're going to get real, is that I also feel like that some days.
Yeah, but you're a boss and you still do it.
But I'm the boss and I'm good at it, so crack on.
No, it's not like that. No one ever says to you, but you're the boss, go do it, crack on.
They don't say it.
The same as no one makes you stay up at night time and editing these videos.
No, you're true, but it is like that though. I know that if I don't film a vlog, we won't have a vlog going up.
That's true.
But like Chris says, if Chris didn't edit the vlog, we wouldn't have a vlog going up. But I do feel sometimes the mental load of vlogging. But I'm sure you also feel the mental load of editing.
It is, and like literally, like I'm sure this is much more accepted these days. There's so many people that used to like mock when you said stuff like this, but the mental load on your head making videos every day is enormous.
It is.
And so for Sarah, like, props to her because she does boss it every single day. Yeah, it is the same when you're editing a video. Well, it's not the same. it's a mental load when you're editing a video because, you know, you lose sleep. A lot of my work gets done at night time, so like other business stuff, editing, etc. So it does put me to bed late most nights. So,
but like for example, there's been times, just been open and honest, like there's been times where I've been like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it today. I don't have it in me. I hate the way I look. I hate what I'm saying. I don't feel like I'm being natural. I can't do it. I feel like I want to go do this with the children. I physically can't do it. You're gonna have to take the lead. And so Chris was like, it's fine. I'll take the lead. Don't worry. And then an hour later, he'll come to me and be like, I can't. I don't know how you do this every day. I literally can't. That has happened.
It's like that, yeah, it is like that.
Like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I can't. Like, just knowing that I've got to take the lead today, and I need to be the face of the vlog, and I need to think of things to say and do. Like, I can't do it. And I know people say like, well, you're just filming your day, and technically we are just filming our day.
It's not.
But it still feels like you still have to think about things, setting up the camera.
If you were just filming your day, nobody would watch it. You have to become
you wouldn't watch
expert.
us.
You have to become an expert storyteller. So storytelling through different angles, through what you're saying, narrate the right bits of narration with the right bits of showing and stuff like that. And it's not as simple as just showing your day.
Yeah.
It's like it's me. When I'm feeling on it, I'm on it, and I love vlogging, and I can bust it. Like when we're traveling, I think I never really have days when I'm not in it. I'm usually
love the first.
a
new location, you're always buzzing.
I'm always buzzing to film in new locations. But when
After a while, it tips off though.
When it's mundane days of nothing really happening, and you really have to think about what you're doing and saying to make something interesting. I really struggle with those days.
And we and Chris we have argued in the past, like, pressure comes with any job you do. And we're not sat here saying we're the same as a Tesco's worker or a doctor or a lawyer. We're not the same, we're all different, but nobody's feelings are invalidated just because they do something different. There is pressure with vlogging. It is a job. We do work hard at what we do, and there is pressure that comes with that sometimes.
Let me explain the pressure though. This is what it's like.
I don't feel like people understand, like, because from our vlogs, I don't feel like people understand, because let me tell you why. From our vlogs, it looks like all we do is just get up and go shopping, or all we do is get up and go to the beach. And we are so lucky that vlogging has taken off in the way it did for us, and we're able to live this life, and we don't ever take it for granted. And we're so lucky that we even get to go shopping every day if we want to, or every day go to the beach or swimming. We're so lucky that we get to do that, and we will never take that for granted. But that doesn't take away. But that also doesn't take away the fact that we still have a mental load of each day.
Man, I'm looking well shiny right now. What's going on?
I know I do. It's because of the light.
No. Let me just explain.
We can't do a big explanation.
No. Just quickly, I'm going to explain the mental load about why, so you understand, right? Basically, when you start making videos, this is how the mental load goes exponentially. Right? When you start making videos, you want to start a YouTube channel. It's kind of carefree, and you're not expecting anything to happen. So it's just like, I'm making a video. Okay, cool. I'll upload it. Maybe someone will see it, and then boom, hundreds of people start seeing it. And thousands of people start seeing it, and your channel's growing, and you're becoming well known everywhere, and then suddenly there's so many eyes on you every day that the pressure is suddenly monumental. Like, you can come up with something new and something interesting to keep people interested, to keep them coming back. And then you have the added factor. Then the money starts to come in, and then you're like, whoa, what the heck is this? And then your lifestyle adapts to the money. And then you never want to let go of that lifestyle. So then you've got that pressure as well. So you've got the money pressure, you've got the people's eyes on you pressure, and then that's how the pressure kind of exponentially goes insane when you're a vlogger. I'm just talking about in general when you have a YouTube channel and it gets big. This is how the pressure goes from zero when you start to just like absolutely exponential.
And then you've got the emotional load as well, where people are like, your vlogs are so boring, can't you do something? And we know like the people that are commenting those things are not people that are coming to our channel for enjoyment anyway.
Yeah. It's a weird pressure, and we're not like saying anything like, oh, we're not hard done to in any way. Believe me, we know how privileged we are right now. We're not saying we're hard done to.
No.
Lots of people say like, oh, you haven't got any pressures, you just film your life. It's not like that. You have the emotional pressure of people judging you wrongly, and people judging you for like saying you're boring or whatever it might be. Then you have the financial pressure of like you've adapted your life to like a certain level of living, and you can't lose that basically. And then you have the pressure of like all the eyes on you as well, sort of thing. So and I'm not talking about for us in general, I'm talking about that's how it is with every single like YouTuber who's started a channel and it's got big. Yeah. So that's where the pressure is when you're a vlogger. It's pressure from kind of lots of different sides, so that people understand that. I'm not talking about our own pressures. I'm talking about other people's pressures in general when you're a YouTuber. In general. Yeah, basically.
Right, would you ever spend Christmas at the cottage again, the one when the girls were young? That's no longer an Airbnb, is it? We tried to book that. I'm presuming they mean the one with the pool.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know actually.
Wait, that was an Airbnb, and then it wasn't an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And then it came back on Airbnb, so I think it got sold and then rebought.
Yeah, I don't know,
I'm not sure if it.
I don't. It was lovely that year, but the cottage that you sleep in wasn't for us. No, and I wouldn't go back there because of that. Yeah. But the pool house was awesome.
The pool house was
amazing. Was awesome.
Yeah. Someone asked. There's quite a lot of questions asking about moving to Dubai. Things we wish we may have. Things we wish we knew, and then the costs.
Okay, I think we've actually already done a video on that, but basically there's a lot of upfront
You do the cost, because I didn't know the cost. But
I don't know the cost off my head. I'll have to look them up again, but right now, so at least £10,000 per person. Not per person, but like, so if you're a single person moving to Dubai, you're going to need about £10,000 up front.
Yeah.
For everything. For your visas, your house, all the payments you have to put up front, your health insurance, a car, whatever, hire, insurances, whatever, about £10,000 up front. And if it's a family, I think it was around-ish £30,000 for all of us.
Yeah, but 10,000 up front, but you're going to need at least another 10,000 in savings because it is expensive here. And I don't just mean expensive as in like your supermarket shop. I mean things like, you know, your rent that you have to pay for the year. Like you have to give those checks that are covering you for the year. And then there was another one, your health insurance, like Chris just mentioned, things like that. Car hire is really expensive. I mean, our car hire, I feel like that's so expensive what we pay.
I don't think it is though.
You don't think it is, do you? I
think as well, because here you pay a premium for...
We have to have a 7-seat though.
Obviously we've got an 8-seater, so that's a premium for that, but you also pay a premium for, what's wrong with my brain? Korean cars, so Kia, because they're super reliable, so everyone wants one. Everyone wants a Kia here. There's lots of American cars here, which then for like rental terms they're not as popular because the parts, so I've been told, the parts are harder to get hold of, servicing, etc. Everyone loves Kias because they don't break down, basically. Korean cars in general.
So anyway, do you still get periods? Yeah, I still get periods. I'm only 39. I don't know if they mean like after the tubal ligation, but that's a bit of a weird question. I also saw somebody.
Mate, train's popping off right now. That's not bleeping in the background, sorry.
There's so many baby questions, like hundreds, and then this one here, are you on any contraception? Do you think that's a bit too controversial to answer?
No?
I don't think it is. It's just normal, isn't it? I am actually not on any form of contraception, and I haven't been on any form of contraception since 2018. That was the last time when we were Gcse was in the picture. So 2018 was where I was on the pill, and I've been on the pill since I was a teenager because I used the pill. I used the pill to regulate my periods because I didn't get regular periods. I think I started taking the pill when I was probably around 16, 17 maybe. I wouldn't recommend that now, but I was on the pill for many years, and then in 2018 I decided enough was enough. I wasn't taking the pill anymore. I looked into all the other different forms of contraception, and I just didn't agree with or fancy any of them. I didn't want to take any of them. So yeah, that and obviously at that time we were obviously wanting another baby, Gcse. And then after, obviously we went for a stage where we didn't want a baby, but at the minute, and actually forever now, I will never personally take contraception, as in like putting things into my body, taking the pill every day, injections. I will absolutely not do any of those things, 100%. And I'm not saying you shouldn't or anything like that, but just personally for me, no, I'm done with that. It's over to the man, in my opinion. I actually got my tubes tied when I had Aurora.
We know.
But yeah, but some people, whatever. But anyway, and then for you that are new and don't know, I got a call on Boxing Day to say that it had not worked. No, it wasn't even that it had not worked. On my right side, the consultant doesn't know what the surgeon cut and tied, but it wasn't my fallopian tube. Suspected large muscle that supports my uterus. Never confirmed though. So, because the other question is, do you want more children?
I would 100% love more children.
And this is a topic that I don't feel like I can answer on here. Maybe I'll do a Sarah Says on this, because my answer is really deep, in depth, and I don't want to have that conversation now.
Okay, there'll be a Sarah Says video about that.
But there'll be a Sarah Says. I'll do a Sarah Says on that.
There's a video for this week.
I will do a Sarah Says on it because it's quite an in-depth chat that my feelings are really deep with it and really confusing. But yeah, we don't know even if we can have more children. And I'm not on contraception, but I haven't. But that's not an indicator that I'm going to be pregnant soon, because I haven't been on contraception since 2008. So that's 7 years. That's 7 years. But funnily enough, I've never ever fallen pregnant without wanting to fall pregnant.
True. And I sleep in the caravan anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. I think, should we end it on this one? I feel like we've answered loads of questions, okay. Really long answers. What is your favourite thing about being a parent? It says mum, but we'll do parent because Chris can be involved too. To 6 gorgeous kiddos. So personally for me is that I genuinely have to stop myself. I do this daily. Could you not turn that beeping off? I do this daily.
Yeah.
And remind myself that right now is probably the most special time in my life. I feel like right now I'm at my prime in life. I've got my health. Chris is healthy. I've got my children are healthy. What do you mean you hope?
I hope I am.
Chris is a hypochondriac.
I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm just trying to do everything I can now to make sure that I'm healthy.
Yeah.
So.
I just genuinely feel in such a good place in my life. I feel confident in myself. I feel confident in my parenting. And even though over the last 10 years on YouTube, I may have looked like I had my SHIT together, I didn't. I questioned everything. I questioned, you know.
You did.
I did.
You might have felt like that, but you did, for the most part.
I did, but I still felt deep down, I still questioned a lot in myself. Whereas I don't feel like at the minute I'm questioning anything. I'm feeling confident in what I'm doing. I'm feeling confident in what I'm teaching my children. I feel confident that the decisions I'm making for the right reason, and they are the right decisions for my family. Yeah. Noise from people online doesn't get to me in the way it used to. Even like, you know, big things that, you know, people say or question, I'm just like, it doesn't bother me, because I know that what I'm doing right now for me and my family is the right decision. And I just feel so happy and relaxed, comfortable, and just really flipping happy. And I pinch myself because I feel like I've got everything with my 6 children. I've literally got 3 teenage daughters that I can...
That are flipping nightmares. For real.
But we wouldn't have it any other way.
No. Oh, no, definitely not.
We wouldn't have it any other way. We've got 6 teenage daughters. I can, you know, the arguments, the fights, I don't mean fist fights, but, you know, I mean arguments between them amongst ourselves, the giggles, the laughs, the banter, like, oh my gosh, the banter. We'll be sat at the dinner table and the girls will be chatting about something, and all of a sudden me and Chris will literally spit out our tea and be like, what did you just say? And then everyone bursts out laughing because they've said something like, I don't know, really inappropriate or something like that. And I'm sure it's normal things that, you know, 16-year-olds would be saying to their school friends, but we're like, wait, what? That's not alright to say in front of me and your dad. Like, go chat to your friends or your sisters about stuff like that, but we're at the dinner table.
Yeah.
You know, it takes us off guard, doesn't it, sometimes by surprise, but it's like it's normal. And I feel like we've got that really fun side of the teenagers, and I know a lot of people talk about teenagers, like Chris just did, in such a negative light, like, oh, like the hormones and the arguments and the rages.
We go from 0 to World War V in like a split second, especially with Isabel and Esme.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I do feel like a lot of people, like, you know, highlight those things, but they don't always highlight like the good times, like the banter that we can now have with them. And the, you know, the excitement over things that we're actually excited about as well, and not excited about, you know, a new Pokemon card. Oh, no, that's actually wrong because so many adults are excited. But, you know, excited about Fireman Sam toys. You know, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm excited for Jace, not because I'm actually excited about the Fireman toy.
No, it's like
with teenagers, it's like stuff that we're actually excited about, and we can all be excited about it together.
Yeah, like yesterday at JBR Beach. We went to JBR yesterday, and we were in the sea talking about what we mentioned earlier about our forward plan for Dubai.
Yeah, we can plan it with the girls.
We were talking about those plans and like us sitting at this, you know, at a new house or whatever, and just loving life. We were talking about future plans.
Yeah, so it's really fun that you've got these older children that
and they're also excited about it, and that's really nice for them. And then they can have all their little inputs in it, like,
can we do this? Or even on the van trips, like our summer trip that we're planning at the minute. Can we go here? Or I've been doing some research. I found this place I'd really like to visit. I love that. I love that they're involved in the planning and the, you know, the excitement of it, the adult excitement. Do you know what I mean? Not the Fireman Sam excitement.
Yeah.
So that's that. But then I've also got the Fireman Sam excitement, which I love, and the excitement over a leaf in the garden.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, that just goes without saying. You can't beat that level of magic. You can't beat it.
Like, you just can't beat it. And so that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like I have to pinch myself at the start of this very long answer, because I feel like I've got it all. Like, I feel so lucky because I have it all. I've got all. We have all of it, and we need to, like, sit and remember. This is such a good time in our lives right now. Like, we don't have worries about things that millions of people have worries about, like money, health, broken families.
That's the thing,
like,
is that
we don't have those, and I feel like sometimes you can just live it and just be like, we, you know, but like to actually sit down and think about it, like, it's just so special.
You should always think about things like this as well. If you think you're in a bad situation right now in life, imagine tomorrow being told you have terminal cancer, right? You would give anything in the world to go back to the day before, when you just had the problems you had the day before.
Yeah, like the dishwasher breaking.
Yeah, like the problems that you realise when your health is not good, that they don't matter at all.
No.
Those type of problems you wish you had.
Yeah.
Or how in 20 years' time you'd give anything to go back 20 years and have the problems you've got today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should just remember that when you're feeling bad about the situation or whatever's going on in life, you should just remember that tomorrow you could have terminal cancer and you would give anything to have those problems back tomorrow.
You should think about that when, like, the kids have coloured on the wall or something. Like, is it a big deal?
Nah, full. Them tools are getting...
It's on the steps.
It's arrived. It's just arrived.
Jason will have got a new clock for the bedroom and they're so excited about it. But yeah, we'll set it up now. We're finished, okay? Yeah. 2 seconds. So, I think that's going to conclude our very long Q&A. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions. Sorry if we didn't get round to answering yours, but we talk for England and we always answer way too long on these. And also, I hope that nothing we've said in this video... Yes, sir?
Can we open the cup?
I've got you guys a present. I've actually got you a present, okay? Jump down a second, and we're going to give you a present in 1 minute, okay?
I'll just be here.
Okay, you can sit there. Yeah, I hope nothing we've said in this video is offensive or comes across offensive in any way, shape, because that's never our intention. And I always want to be honest on videos like this and open and express, like, how we feel and what we think about things. But sometimes I know that, number one, things we say can be taken really literally, or number two, things we can say can be twisted and turned into something that it was never meant to be. So if we've said anything controversial or some things that you don't agree with, and we know not everyone's going to agree, but just know that we didn't mean it in a way that was meant to cause offence or meant to, you know, have an effect on you, basically, a negative effect on you or your family.
Yeah, and life's all about loving people with different opinions. So if everyone had the same opinion, it'd be super boring. Yeah.
And you can give an opinion without being offensive.
Yeah.
So I know people always say, like, you know, they'll come back to you being like, oh, well, you always block people that don't agree with you.
No, we don't.
And we never, ever would block somebody that give an opinion in a respectful way. But I feel like sometimes we get opinions in such a nasty, rude, awful, weird, like, awful tone that nobody would say that in real life. And if you're not willing to say it in real life, then I'm not willing to take it on camera
basically,
either.
Yeah.
So it's okay to have different opinions as long as you're saying that opinion in a respectful way.
Yeah, but if you know that if you said that opinion in real life that you'd get a smack in the mouth, then
probably
you
don't
ain't
do
gonna
it
get
online
you're not
either.
gonna get kept on. You're not gonna get left to do that online. So it's exactly the same as that. You should just think about the way you can definitely say everything in a respectful, nice way.
Yeah.
When you start getting nasty and just dirty and horrible, then you're gonna get blocked. But that's the only reason we would ever block somebody.
Yeah.
So if it's something that you think you could say in person without getting chinned, then
say it. Go
say
ahead.
it. Then
Yeah.
write it. But if it's something you'd
Chinned.
get chinned, if it's something you'd get chinned for,
That word for so long.
if it's something you'd get chinned for in real life, then you're gonna get blocked. So that's the only reason, basically. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you tomorrow.
At 5 p.m.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys. Oh. Their eyes closed.
Are your eyes closed? Okay, 2 eyes closed, please.
Are your eyes closed?
Okay.
Make sure they stay closed.
Keep them closed. Keep them closed. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, open.
What is it? What is it? Oh wait, I think I know what this is. What is it? A face mask!
A face mask!
Oh,
What
wait, what is it?
you've been asking for days.
Oh wait, how do I open it?
Weeks. Come here.
Yeah.
Ready?
Wait, what's it up?
You ready?
Wait, is it blue? No,
Minis.
where's that shark one? Wait, is it that shark one?
No, it's not a sharp one. It's a cool one.
Whoa. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So jealous.
There you go.
What? That's so cool.
Yeah, you'll be able to go underwater and breathe underwater.
There you go,
You
Mila.
don't even need to hold your breath.
No,
That's
you
so
don't.
cool.
How cool are those?
That's so cool.
Come here then, push your face in. Hang on a second.